Hello and welcome to a likely arbitrary and useless video. I'm hoping that this will be in advance of the winter season of celebration enough that some people still haven't gotten presents. And according to advertising, you most certainly have not. I'm talking about the entire human race here. We're very bad at this. And I'd say I'm reasonably good at getting presents, and the main reason I'd say that is because I really like giving people presents. Like individualistic, kind of just thinking about like what they're like, and I actually kind of like giving presents more than getting them. I mean, very Hobbit of me. I think it's because I'm kind of too practical when I'm thinking about myself. I think like the only one that I've just blatantly asked for is I got this really cool eyeliner, blue eyeliner, and my dad still hadn't got me a present, so I just asked him for other colours. Admittedly, he really wanted to buy me a red one. Out of all of the colours available, I said I'm fine with any of the colours apart from lilac, and he completely forgot that. He hasn't ordered it because he basically just got me to pick it, but he really wanted me to get a red one and a green one. Like, first of all, Christmas, but also I don't want to look like I have a red eye and I also don't want a green eye. Like, they weren't complementary colours. Anyway, I really like giving presents, so I'm going to give some tips and tricks that are hopefully useful if you aren't good at getting presents for others. But also I would say that they're likely not going to work for everyone, and I'll give some situations as I go. So tip number one is probably, I think, the most obvious one, but I'm going to say why it's useful for two reasons, and that is to ask what people want. Now, this is kind of split into two camps for me. There's the kind of person that wants something. Oh, family. It's nice that they want to chat. But basically someone wants something specific, or they're kind of, to put it kindly, picky, and that's putting it kindly. And the thing is, they will give you a prompt, like, this is very specific. If the person I'm talking about heard this, they would definitely know. I don't think that they'd disagree with my analysis, but they might say they want a yoga mat, but what they want is this brand of yoga mat that's obviously quite nice, and they also want like a specific type within that. So I got a non-slip yoga mat from Sweaty Betty, but I think this kind of goes a bit broader. Like, they're kind of more particular about the colours and textures, so not just a dressing gown, but like one that will go with their pyjamas. I don't know how fashionable you need to be in your pyjamas, but if you're gonna buy something, let it be cute. So with that kind of person, you want them to give the specifics that they want, because it's better than disappointment, because that's how it usually ends up. Or kind of like vague confusion about why you thought that they'd like that. Like, sometimes they think that you have like a psychic connection and would know what they want. The other camp is a situation I'm in quite often, is that sure, there's things, the things that you get for Christmas aren't necessarily the most appropriate things and the things you really want. As a student, sometimes like having a Christmas hot chocolate kit which has like little bits of shredded chocolate that you can put into this tiny pot for heating up your milk on your Arga, of which I don't have, but you might have, so you might be able to use it, but I can't when I'm at university. That might be something that I'd like, that's kind of nice, but is it something I really need, and would I rather you spend £20 on getting me a little wok or something just a little bit more practical. Now, I'm doing okay in terms of that kind of stuff, but I tend to ask for specific art stuff. So I've asked for a light box, some pastels, watercolours, like the watercolours that I use on most of my doll repaints. I got that for Christmas. Like they specifically got like a fancier set. I'm not sure whether I would have preferred how I would have done with the Faber-Castells that I wanted, but those are the ones I got and I really like them now. So even within the context of like someone asking for what they want, there is a bit of room to play around and really think about it. And that kind of is tied in with tip number 2, is that when people ask specifically for something, you should also tag on another little something. And now that can be really easy when you're an artsy fartsy person like me, and hopefully you guys, because it's kind of more about the thought than the money, than the practicality, than all of that when you're giving someone a handmade gift or just like an extra little gift with what they asked for. So with my brother, he asked for some like anime themed, but not like weeby, t-shirt anime merch for like TV shows. So I got him really cute All Might, muscly All Might shirt, because I know he really, we both like My Hero Academia, and yes, I said My Hero Academia. Just because when I talk to him, he doesn't like when I say Boku no Hero Academia. Sorry for the anime-ness, but I got him one that says that's kind of reference to the gym, because he has gym membership, and hopefully it would encourage him to go to the gym more, because it's being paid for. So use it to the full worth. But along with that, I am giving him the Christmas, the next doll repaint that I'm making, which is technically not a doll repaint, because I don't think I'm actually repainting anything. Ooh, hints. But I've kind of packaged that together with the t-shirt, because they're both connected to a thing we both like. He might not, it's not very practical to give a 18-year-old boy, man, human, a little, anime figurine, but it's cute and it's kind of thoughtful, and it's a character that he really likes, so just adding a little bit of that. And even if you're not artsy, something handmade, like I wouldn't recommend getting those little, sometimes like middle-aged women will give as Christmas presents Christmas ornaments, or to teachers give Christmas ornaments, and it's just, I don't think that's a good idea. The only gift I ever got working as a nursery teacher, I got this cute little pear, like wooden but like painted gold ornament. So I guess in a very abstract way, like I do very much like it, and I enjoy working with that child, but would I have enjoyed something else more? Probably. But it is cute that I do have a constant reminder of that child. So it is, give your nursery teachers, etc., presents. That's another tip, because especially in private schools, it's a big thing in the UK that the teachers come out with like 12 bottles of wine / champagne, 8 bouquets, and like you know that you want to be the one that gives the good present. So that's tip number 3. And then I'm going to get into kind of situation number 3. So this is very common, especially when it comes to boyfriends, I think, in that they don't know. They're just like, you say like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? And they're just like, no. In terms of that, they probably, especially dudes, they probably won't appreciate as much something practical, like if you know that they don't have enough mugs, because you have tea with them and then they're always having to wash one up, then it's probably very practical and would be very good to get them a mug, but they probably wouldn't appreciate it that much. So obviously look for those kind of things, but also just try to do something. If you can't think of it, they can't think of anything, try to do something practical that is connected to something that, you know, is all about them. So I myself have made my dad a mug for Christmas. So it's got like little stylized fly fishing and normal fishing lures on it. Then I think they're turned out pretty cute, and I know that he'll really appreciate it, and it's practically useful. So just kind of tie in what they need and what they want into a nice bundle. So that I would say the easiest way is just get something that has a design or a motif from like a TV show or a hobby that they have. So it basically, with presents, it's always more easier when people have interests and interesting lives. Just little things that they do for fun, I guess, because you also have to juggle what they want and what you know they have as well. So when it comes to hobbies, if you know that they just read a lot and that's their main hobby, then you can't it's hard to subtly ask whether they have, you know, the next book in their series. You don't, because the thing is, if that's like their only hobby, it's also likely that multiple people get it. That's the reason why at weddings they have like registers for what presents people get, because who needs 5 kettles? I mean, admittedly, actually, that doesn't sound too bad, but no one needs 5 kettles unless they have 5 kitchens, in which case you're already rich by yourself. Tip number I can't count is trick people into working out if they'll like your present. I would say this is either do it because you've seen something that you think they might like, have someone in the shop reserve it, or you can possibly just buy it if you know that even if they don't like it, you'll like it. And that's what happened with me. So obviously Secret Santa is the perfect opportunity for this. It is the bane of existence. It's the bane of buying presents. I think I've got 3 Secret Santa stories that I'll say after this one of trickery. The other ones were just plain normal ones. Somewhat amusing, but basically I tricked her into working out whether she'd like this purple thermos that said it had like a little brand, like, you know, little word thing, quote. It's not a quote, but you know, words that's something to do with sleep. Like, it wasn't exactly like I need my caffeine before I get up in the morning, but something to do with the morning or sleeping, and obviously it could hold caffeine. And I know that her favourite colour is purple. She's got a purple bike, she has a purple bag, she wears a lot of purple, she's admitted that she likes purple. Great, you know, that's a nice starting point. She is also a chemistry, I almost say chemistry major. That's not how English universities work. She's doing chemistry, so I was thinking, something to do with chemistry and purple. You know, that seems like there'd be some kitschy like pins, so that was what I was mainly looking out for. Something she could put in a purple backpack, or something. So like one of those like scientist thermosy things, not thermosy things. Ooh. Another interruption, but I was given a warm beverage, so it is forgiven. But I had this concept. I went into this cute little store called Rocket Dog, and, you know, I knew what I wanted to get, but they didn't have anything to do with chemistry, which admittedly, now I think about it, it's not the internet. It doesn't have everything. I bought myself a cute pin of a little galaxy cat. It's adorable. It's on my new jacket that I'm wearing all of the time. I'm looking cute. But basically, I got this thermos because it was purple. I thought she'd like it. She's kind of a student. She needs the caffeine, but does she like caffeine? Big question. So essentially, this is for Sewing Society that I'm part of, and what I did was I came up with the idea of having a hot chocolate session at the end, as the end of term Christmas session. So I'd bring in my kettle and my some hot chocolate powders, cream, marshmallows, or some other hot beverages. So this was a trick to find out if she likes hot beverages, because some people don't. My brother does not like any hot beverages. It's weird. I love tea. I'm literally addicted. Anyway, I wanted to find out if she was a tea, coffee, hot chocolate, hot beverage, all kind of girl. And she is. She likes tea, coffee, and hot beverages generally, and hot chocolate. So it was a great idea. Trick people into admitting what they like. And then I'm just going to give a rundown, kind of chronologically. I actually have 3 other Secret Santa stories, and these are kind of the highest stakes, I feel, of like, you don't know these people very well necessarily, but you still have to get them presents. So last year, for the last Sewing Society Secret Santa, it was like the president, her name's Holly, and she's like really fashionable, like, she's a glorious woman. She's currently working for like a bag, like leather bag making designer place, making the little listing explanations of, on the internet saying like, ooh, buy me. And she's doing well, but basically I was just like, she's so fashionable, it's going to be hard to like pick something. Like, her hobbies are sewing, obviously, and fashion. And the way that I kind of worked it out is, I think I saw she was kind of using the same scarf, and she's quite sickly. She gets sick quite often, so I really kind of that motherly thing of like wanting them to be all warm and cuddly. So I went out of my way to like pick the perfect scarf, and I was, especially within the like money limit, it was really hard. So I think it was a £10 limit, and I went exactly to the limit, got her a soft, like fashionable but also not distinct scarf, so she can wear it with anything. It was really soft, and I think it was great, and I loved it, and she really liked it too, so that was a big winner. The next story was for my flatmates. I guess this was in first year of university, so these are just random people that I didn't know. So I didn't really talk to the girl that I got for Secret Santa, and I didn't know anything really about her except for she does volleyball. So I think it was quite a fail, but she also didn't turn up to like the Christmas meal. She was the only one that didn't. So I didn't actually get to see or get any response for how the Christmas Secret Santa went. I don't know if she got it. She probably did. I don't see why she wouldn't, but I don't know how well this went, but I imagine not that well, because I did a watercolor painting of a cat, like a kitten holding a volleyball, just like in the grass, and then blue sky in the background. The cat was not that well done. I'll see if I can find a photo of it in my phone somewhere and post it here. If not, I'll post a better photo of my art, but it wasn't that good. I mean, it was a bit of a disappointment, and I didn't get to see her response, so it doesn't really matter, and I didn't really know her or talk to her, so lower stakes. My final story, and definitely the best one, is from when I was working as a nursery nurse. the terminology's changing. The government wants us to be called teachers. So I was a teacher, and it was like with the staff members, so it was a staff dinner, and I got someone that worked in the classroom with me. So I can't remember her name, so I'm very sorry, but I didn't really know anything about her. I never had lunch with her or anything, so the only time I engaged with her was in the classroom, you know, surrounded by noisy children. You don't really get to chat about much, not even like gossip, because you can't really get into juicy gossip when there's kids around. A, they're distracting. B, you know, the juicy gossip is not appropriate for kids. And basically didn't know. I knew that she drank tea, primarily because, you know, in a little teacher class, they had a little kitchen in between the classrooms, because in nurseries there's a lot of cooking, kind of preparing, cleaning kind of stuff, and so obviously when you made tea for everyone else that was, you know, working at that time. So I knew that she had tea and green tea. So what I did is I went to like Tesco, Sainsbury's, can't remember where exactly, and what I got was a little kit that had kind of powdered green tea, and in a can, quite, you know, a big nice sized one, and a tea strainer. So it was a silicone tea strainer, which was a little pot, and a silicone plant. So I placed them together to like package them together. So it's a cylinder, kind of fat cylinder, and then a little silicone plant thing. And the kind of size of it meant that when I was packing it, I didn't want it to be like overly tall or like a weird cone shape. So I kind of squished down the flour. And then comes to the dinner. So they have this, I'm not fond of it actually when it comes to Secret Santa, but the thing where kind of everyone has their Secret Santa in front of them, and then everyone opens their own present with the entire staff watching them to see and judge their response. Or at least that's how I feel. And I think, mine was definitely the amusing, well, not mine, but my given present was definitely the most amusing of these openings, because essentially what I had done is kind of trapped the silicone plant in a way that it sprung open when it was opened. So, you know, you're just unwrapping the top of the little present, and suddenly, wow, there's this little flower just saying, "Hello, I'm your present." And I was all middle-aged woman, and then one or two youngsters, just laughing. It was really funny, but also I think she really liked it. Even if you don't like the specific tea, like the green tea, the addition of the little strainer means that it's practical, useful, and kind of cute. So I'm gonna end this off with that story, and I hope you have as good a luck as I've had with your Secret Santas, family presents, etc. So thank you, come again, guys.